everybody, welcome to Flocking Around. My name is Zach Hutchinson, the main content creator for Flocking Around, and this is a new video series on how to identify birds. If you're an experienced bird watcher, you may want to start later in the series when we get to more complex identifications, but if you're new to the world of birding, start right here with us with the American robin. If these videos are helpful to you, please like and subscribe to us on Facebook, follow us, on YouTube. I meant YouTube! And then Facebook, and then do the website, and flock it. The American robin is the easy first step to bird identification because it's everywhere, and most people already know it by sight. And if you're an unfortunate person to have been waken up by the song of the American robin, you might also know it by sound. Using clues to identify birds can seem like it's overwhelming. However, if you consider just 3 basic clues, it can really speed up your identification process. Those 3 clues: what's visual, what's audible, and what is the context, date, habitat, location, behavior, things like that. So, within each of those clues, we have other small pieces. What's visual? Shape, size, markings. What's audible? The sound it's making. There's multiple types of sound birds can make. And then the context, behavior, habitat, location, date, etc. All these things are this amazing walkway or stairway to bird identification glory. And as you can see at the top of this one, sits the American robin. Not to be confused with the European robin, which is not even slightly related. However, that is where the American robin got its name. Doesn't make sense. It's weird. I don't get that. Be better about naming birds. If you're new to birding, then there are some links in the description of this video that may help you if this video is going too fast for you or if you want to revisit it. Check out those links. They do provide additional information and go into more depth on just general bird identification and some of the things it's great to have as someone who is new to birding. The first clue we're going to use is contextual, and that is the bird's location. Now, what location could you see the American robin in? Well, in North America, pretty much everywhere. There's not a lot to say. It doesn't matter where you are in North America, you have a very high probability of seeing an American robin. Many people think the American robin doesn't winter in much of North America, but in fact, the American robin will winter all the way up into Canada. And if you don't believe me, check out the link in the description of the video where we go into the range of the American robin in wintertime and how it's actually expanding in some areas. American robins in winter can be just about anywhere. So much for being the bird of spring, eh? Huh? Yeah? I've also got a post on that. Robins aren't the birds of spring. It's a harsh truth. It's a harsh, harsh truth. When it comes to the shape and size of robins, they're pretty obvious. They have a fairly sleek shape overall. However, they have that kind of rotund belly that most people recognize when they see them. Their size is smaller than a crow, larger than a sparrow. In fact, when we identify other birds, we often use the American robin as the midway point between the crow and sparrow to help us identify birds using their size. Markings-wise, robins have pretty obvious markings as adults. Orange rufusy belly, dark back and head, bright orangish yellow bill. Legs can be fleshy or dark. There's some white in the undertail, not like you'd ever need to see it, and that's about it. You don't really need too much more to identify the American robin. There are not that many other species of birds that look like the American robin, at least not in North America. In many species of birds, you can identify the sex of the bird by its plumage. However, that is not a safe practice in the American robin. Just don't do it. Don't even try. Don't do it. Don't think you know. It's not, don't think it's brighter, so it's gotta be a male. No, just don't do it. Look at this bird right here. Could you sex this bird just based on this? Well, first you'd have to know what subspecies it is, because so many subspecies, the males and females can overlap with other subspecies. In the field, you might even be tempted to say, well, this is so pale. It has to be a female, right? Right? But this is a hatchier bird, which means it could just be extra pale because it's younger. And so we might not know if it's male or female until it develops a little bit more and has gone through an additional molt or two. This is the perfect example of why trying to sex a robin by plumage in the field is not a good idea. In fact, it's a very, very bad idea. Sweet, sweet summertime brings sweet, sweet robin babies, and those eggshells are robin's egg blue. However, depending upon that solely, not a great idea. A lot of birds have nests that have robin's egg blue style of eggs in them. So don't rely solely upon that to identify baby robins. When the robins leave the nest, they are covered in spots, and they will have those spots until they do their first molt out of the nest. If you see a robin with spots, it is likely still being cared for by a parent because it is a juvenile. However, a spotted robin does mean a juvenile, but an unspotted robin does not necessarily mean an adult. When a robin goes through its first molt out of the nest, meaning it replaces its feathers, it loses those spotted parts of its body, and they are very difficult to tell from an adult without a lot of experience. So, if it has spots, it's a juvenile. If it doesn't, that does not necessarily mean it's an adult. When it comes to other contextual clues for robins, habitat is pretty simple. Just about anywhere. Montane forests, your backyard, on top of the neighbor's grill, in your local park, American robins can be found just about anywhere, depending upon the season. When it comes to behavior, most people are familiar with the typical robin hopping across your yard, turns its head, sees an earthworm, reaches down, grabs it, pulls it up, consumes it. Pretty obvious behavior. Another obvious behavior is the way they sing. Let me paint a picture for you. It's 3:47 a.m. You're fast asleep. Your windows are open because it's a cool summer night. And then suddenly, it's an American robin, and it's waking you up. That was a terrible robin impression. The song is pretty obvious. It's a very loud set of whistled phrases where the phrase is whistled quickly, but there is a long pause between each phrase. There you have it. That's the American robin, a sleek with a rotund-bellied, medium-sized songbird with a bright orange chest, dark back and head, found through a variety of habitats across North America with distinct behaviors in the way they hunt and sing, and a very loud, clear whistling song that will wake you up in the morning, and you might regret loving the American robin as much as you do. If you want to keep learning bird identification, bird identification. Good grief. I've said identification so many times in this stinking video that I can't even say the word anymore. If you want more of it, then join the flock. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video. That way you get notified when more and more of them come out. Visit our website, flockingaround.com. Join at flockingaround.com/register. We've got articles on identifying birds. We've got videos on identifying birds. We've got just about everything you could hope for to help you in your bird identification journey. Nailed it. Yes, good job. Thank you so much. We're flocking around. Why was I yelling? I just got so worked up. I just started yelling.